everybody! So, as you probably saw from the title of this video, today I'm going to be doing a stationery test, and not with anything specific. I'm just going to be doing pen tests, and as you can see here, I have an array of blue pens, and I have some paper right here. I have some graph paper, and I chose the color blue because all of my pens have a blue color, at least all the ones I'm testing. But what I'm just gonna do is make various lines and talk about the pens. I have favorites in this pile, and I have ones that are just absolutely awful. And I will tell you guys my opinions of these pens as we go through them. I have a lot of pens. There are a lot of pens that I still want. And a lot of times I get my advice on pen buying from videos like this, so I thought I would help some other people out. But yeah, the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to go from the more ballpoint end to the marker end of the spectrum of pens. I'm going to just draw a line, and I'm going to write a word, probably like hello or something basic like that, and just talk about them. Alright, so the first pen that we're going to take a look at is the Pilot Frixion erasable pen in 07. So as you can see, it's a pretty consistent line, and it actually writes very well, as you'll be able to see here. It did skip a little bit right there, which is a little bit annoying, but that is actually a pretty rare occurrence. I don't experience that very often. The next pen we're going to talk about is the Papermate profile pen. The pen that I'm using for this video, this pen, is super old, so that's why it looks kind of janky. This pen, I accidentally messed up. I wrote before, I thought I was recording, and I already wrote, but as you can see, it looks pretty good, in my opinion. The next pen is the Papermate Inkjoy 1.0M. I don't really know what that stands for, because I'm stupid. But yeah, this pen is also an older one, and as you can see, it took a minute to get it to write, but that might be because I haven't used it in a while. But I mean, it has a decent ink quality. It's a decent pen. It's good if you want to just take simple class notes, in my opinion. The next pen is the stationery Tri Plus Roller. I've had some problems with these pens in the past. In this video, it worked really well, but when I've used it for longer periods of time, it has just not worked well at all. In this video, it worked fine, but in the past, it just has been awful. The next pen we're going to look at is the Sugar Rush gel pens. This is the shade Berry Explosion. These pens are super cute, but I have problems getting these to write sometimes, as you'll see here in a second. It takes forever to get it to work, and you couldn't hear it, but it was making a really weird scratching noise when I was trying to get it to work, and then all of a sudden here at the end it starts working, so it takes a minute for the ink to actually work, and I went back over it just to show you what the actual ink color and shade and everything looks like. The colors are beautiful, but as you can see, there are some problems with them sometimes. The next pen we're going to discuss is the one of the StudyblR study community faves. It's the Stabilo .88 Fineliners. It's really hard for me to write with this one because you have to write straight up with these pens, which I do not like. I only like it for when I'm doing like art and stuff, not when I'm writing. That's why I had to kind of film to the side on this one, but I moved back over so you can see what it looks like. The colors are gorgeous on these pens, but they just are weird to write with. Next is the Jelly Roll 08 gel pens. These are one of my personal favorites, and that's what the nib looks like, by the way. And this color is beautiful, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite pens I've ever purchased. I'm very happy with the purchase that I made with these pens. I use them all the time for notes, for bullet journaling, for everything. And the ink quality is great. They just bleed just a little bit, but that's okay. These are the stationery Tri Plus Fineliners. These are another one of my faves. The nib is really thin, which I quite like, and they're also very easy to hold because they're triangular. And also the colors are pretty nice, and they go with any color scheme, in my opinion. These write very well, and even though these are Fineliners, you don't have to do the same thing you do with these stationery ones and hold them straight up, which I really appreciate. The next pen is the Papermate Flare pens, and this is actually the only Papermate Flare pen that I own. I bought it individually, and it just happened to be in light blue, which fit the color scheme perfectly. These are pretty much markers in my opinion, but they're really good for decorating, and they actually are really good for taking notes. The only thing is that they bleed a bit, and they have a really thick nib, so that's not for everybody. The next pen is the Pigma Micron 05 pen. These are actually a 0.45 millimeter nib. These are very aesthetically pleasing, and these are actually art pens, but a lot of people use them for notes and stuff. As you can see, they write very thick, at least this one does. They make thinner nibbed ones, but this one is a very thick marker, which I like sometimes, but sometimes it's just not my thing. These are the infamous Zebra Hardliners. They're just fancy glorified highlighters, and I love them. The colors are gorgeous and they get the job done, so I don't see why people wouldn't like these, in my opinion. There's nothing to hate. The colors are beautiful, as I said. They write really well. I wrote in all caps just because I could, so it'd be clearer. These I'm pretty sure everyone's seen before. These are just basic Sharpies. These are from the 80s glam pack, this color is anyway. As you can see, when you write, it expands out, which makes everything really hard to read. And these also bleed a lot, which you'll see in a minute. And then the last pen that we're going to look at is the Tombow ABT. This is a lettering, and actually it's a manga pen. I got these as a gift when I wanted to learn how to draw manga style. I had to write way bigger to make it clear of what I was writing, which is okay, because the brush pen end is so thick, but they write so well, and I've had them for probably 1.5 years or 2 years, and the ink has not run out or anything, and they are very nice to hold. They're just really nice. So here is just a little overview on the pens that we went over and what all of the results looked like, in case it was hard to see in any of the clips that I filmed. Yeah, all the colors are gorgeous, in my opinion. I said that like 1,000,000 times. And also here's just a little overview of all the pens that I went over again, but like the actual pens, in case any of you are curious what they look like, just closer up or whatever, so you can buy them if you want them. So here is what the back of my paper looks like. As you can see up here, there's no bleeding at all, and I'll show you which pencils are in a minute. And these are the pens that bled a lot. So the Staedtler Tri-Plus Roller bled through, as you can see. The Sugar Rush gel pen bled through just a little. The Fineliner, it's kind of a given that these will bleed because they're basically markers, but that one bled through. The Staedtler Fineliner bled. The Papermate Flare pen bled through as well. The Pigma Micron bled because it has a really thick nib. And the Sharpie bled through so much, but that's kind of a given. So here is just a rundown of all the pens in order from most to least bleeding. Sharpie, Tri-Plus Roller, Sugar Rush, Pigma Micron, the Papermate Flare pens, the Stabilo Fineliners, I think that's the Staedtler Fineliner, the Tombow, the Jelly Roll, the Papermate Inkjoy, the Papermate Profile, the Zebra Mildliner, and the Pilot Friction. And then this is a listing from my most favorite to least. The Pilot Friction is my favorite. The Zebra Mildliner, the Jelly Roll, the Papermate Flare, the Pigma Micron, I think that's the Stabilo Fineliner. Yeah, that definitely is. The Tombow ABT, the Stabilo Fineliner, the Sugar Rush gel pen, Sharpie, and then those three are just similar, but I don't like any of them. Well, there you have it. That was my stationery test. If you guys enjoyed, please go ahead and drop a like in the down bar area under the video. Drop a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Drop a comment, I'd love to know what you think. And if you want me to do any of these types of videos in the future, just with different pens, maybe in like categories, let me know. If you want me to do like a stationery collection, maybe if you want me to do anything else, please let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.